Yeah. 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 So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit of accomplice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge, they don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like, wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
Hello, everyone. It is Pam Esquire, also known as Your Law Intellect. You guys come on in and have a seat. The verdict is in on ASAP Rocky, and it's supposed to be read in 3 minutes. So that's what we're here for. We're here to see what is the fate of ASAP Rocky. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Let me refresh this. As you guys see, the jury has reached a verdict. I want you all to come in and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let's see what happens. What's happened? Oh, all y'all get notifications now when I ain't really, talking about anything I really talk about on a regular basis. I see how YouTube is doing. But I appreciate it. I'm glad that every now and then YouTube remembers little old me. So thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. So we're about to see, it's supposed to be read in a few minutes. And will he walk free? Did the jury believe the prosecution? Did the jury believe that ASAP Rocky, Mr. Efron, was pow-powed, grazed in his knuckles, went to go run to the lawyer's office? The lawyer said, you're going to have to file a police report first. File a police report. Fly over to New York to go get some kind of treatment, I guess. And then goes back to the scene after he files the report and finds some cartridges or some sort. Then he goes to Dunkin' Donuts, gets a bag, puts those cartridges in the bag, and then he turns them over because he's done his own investigation on this alleged pow-powing. ASAP Rocky said, no, this is not what happened. I was carrying a prop gun. It was a warning shot. That man could have never been hurt by me because I didn't do it. It was not a semi-automatic nothing because it wasn't even real. Who do you guys think the jury believed? Again, ASAP does not have the burden. The prosecution has the burden of proving their case beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you believe that the prosecution has satisfied the highest burden in this here United States of America? Well, any moment we shall see what the outcome of this trial is. Hold your seat, get you a drink, because things just got real for ASAP Rocky. Okay. You said what happened? I don't know what happened yet. I'm sitting here waiting on the verdict like everybody else. As you see at the scrolling at the bottom, it has he was charged with 2. So let me see what it says. ASAP Rocky, real name Raheem Mayers, is accused of pow-powing at his former childhood friend Terrell Efron, aka ASAP Rocky, near a Hollywood hotel in November of 2021. He was arrested at Los Angeles International Airport for the crime 5 months later in April 2022. ASAP Rocky faces 2 charges of felony assault with a semi-automatic pow pow. Prosecutors indicate they are seeking 8 years in prison if convicted. Was that a good summary for you guys? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Superfly. Yes, K-Tot, of course, you know. I hope they come on. Like, come on now. Come on. We've been waiting. We're waiting patiently. There's 600 people up in here already. We're waiting patiently. I can only entertain these people for so long, okay? Come on now. Come on. God is in control. Jesus. Now that's a name. They super saved. That's like Jesus's cousin. He going to prison. That's what's going to happen. My goodness. No grace, no mercy. No nothing with all those Jesuses on there. Oh. Sense isn't common. I hope they come back with the not guilty verdict. The state didn't meet their burden, in my opinion. And it's plenty of people that feel the way that you do. Okay. That's from Sense Isn't Common. So Sense Isn't Common said not guilty, but the one with Jesus said he going to prison. You told him to get his house in order. All right. I didn't watch it, so I'm just giving you like the snippets of what I know. So I don't know the really intricate details of it. That's why I've kind of stayed away from it. But what I did tell you guys is, if we were off on Monday, they were going to have a verdict on Tuesday. Did I not tell y'all that? The one time that I did stream this trial for a day, I did it for closing arguments. That was it. I said, no, it's going to take 2 days. No, it's not. It took 4 hours. A little bit under 4 hours. It was 3 hours and 53 minutes. That's how long it took for them to get this verdict. Be the light. Thank you so much. She said, thanks for always keeping us updated. Of course. That's what I'm here for. You know what? My son said, Rihanna, if he is found guilty and you're looking for a stepdaddy, he's available. He can rap. You guys heard the intro, right? That can be his, that could kind of be what he uses to kind of, sway you a little bit because you like rappers, okay? He can rap too. You could change his name to ASAP J. He'll be fine with that. That girl said, why would anyone want to see a young man to go to prison? I don't think anybody likes to see anyone go to prison, but they do like to see people that commit crimes to go to prison. People to be off the streets. It's everybody that committed crimes should go to prison. No, you guys know that I do wrongful convictions. So I get it. They don't always get it right. But there are some people that don't need to be walking on the street. I am not a person that is in denial that everyone does not deserve to be walking along the streets or living next door to me. That's it. But I appreciate your concern. Lonnie said, you do the crime, you do the time. meeting with the evidence. So that girl, so you just believe that based on the evidence, you don't believe that the prosecution met their burden. Okay. That's cool to say that. You just said, why does somebody want to see somebody go to jail? I don't think any of us want to see anybody go to jail unless you actually did the crime. So that's not what you said. But if you believe after looking at the evidence, you feel like the prosecution has not met their burden, then no, he should go home and they should stop by Chick-fil-A with 2 little kids that were in court. And that should be it. Don said, Pam, is it normal for them to televise the verdict? That's what situation do they not televise? It is not wrong for them to televise a verdict if the case has been televised the entire time. Why wouldn't they do the verdict? So sometimes it's up to the different courtrooms. Some courtrooms, like in after all the controversy with Tory Lanez, I wish that was televised. Okay, I wish that was streamed, because people reported it in ways that it didn't happen in that courtroom, because I was there. So yes, if you get permission and the court is fine with you recording, because you do have to seek permission. You just can't go walking up in there with cameras. It's not how that works. If you get permission, then yes, the entire trial, it's the entire from the beginning to the end. So it's from the arraignment to the preliminary examinations, to the motions you have in between, to the different conferences, to the different issues. They record all of that and they stream. Christian Richardson said, not guilty. Rock is going home with his family. Sexy RN, CCRN, O.J. Simpson was televised in the 90s. This is nothing new. Yes, O.J. was one of the first ones that was televised, actually. If you want a good historian note, on Court TV. That's actually what blew Court TV up. Are you guys hitting that like button? It's 800 of you guys. Why is this jury taking so long? If y'all had a verdict 3 hours ago or 2 hours ago, like, come on. My goodness. Hey, Bama girl, good to see you. Miss HLS said, if YSL went home, Rocky should definitely go. You said definitely? Okay. Jana said, Pam, does ASAP have grounds for civil suit against Relly if he is acquitted? I would have to see the actual information against. Typically, when you do 1983 cases, which is against the police officers or the prosecutor's office, it has to be, for instance, they really didn't have probable cause. They didn't have a right to arrest you in the first place. So every person that's not acquitted doesn't necessarily have a lawsuit, because it's just the jury may not have believed them. Now, if they didn't have no information and the jury came back in 5 minutes, listen, you ain't had no information when you brought it, then yes. But you do that against the pockets. You go against those individuals that brought the case, which would be the police department and the prosecutor's office. The prosecutors have absolute immunity, so it's a very high burden to get prosecutors on the hook. It has to be things such as they turned into police officers, they were in investigative mode instead of prosecution mode. But once probable cause attaches and the trial begins, anything they do during trial, during that whole process, they have absolute immunity. So it's it's a very high burden for you to cross over. Now, police officers have qualified immunity. So if they do things that are against the Constitution or, it's easier to get police officers on the hook. But yeah, so everything is fact specific. So I guess my answer is, I don't know. I don't know the facts of this case at all. Ambi Bambi said, it's my 1-year intellect anniversary. Time flies. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much for rocking with your girl for 1 year. I hope you've enjoyed your time here. Thank you for being a member. I appreciate that. What my sister say? Let me see. Child, I don't know what expertise thank you so much, Sari Colette. I didn't really watch it either. I don't know what expertise I can get. They're just gonna read the verdict. I mean, yes, Elaine, you didn't know that Jay-Z and that Diddy case was dismissed? Didn't I do a live on that, y'all? I think I did. You might want to go back and watch that video. I did a live on it. I think that was my last video. Okay. Kisses and Smooches said, not guilty, please. Let ASAP and Riri come back to New York. To New York. You know, some of my favorite people are in New York. Y'all know where I'm going with this, right? Some of my favorite people are in New York.
You's a clown. That's what you. Why don't you call me a cardboard bishop now? Huh? You tough? Call me a cardboard bishop now.
He's not gonna call you that.
Huh? Look on Facebook Live. Call me a cardboard bishop now. You clown. That's what you are. You clown. That's what you are. Why don't you say what you say on Facebook Live, sucker?
No.
Shout out to all the suckers over there in New York. Brooklyn specifically. All right, y'all got it. Come on now. Come on. I know you guys missed my commentary on Bishop Whitehead. I know you guys do. You said I thought they were about to read the verdict. I put the video on. Brooklyn said Brooklyn. I did see that. I did see that Hulu on Bishop Whitehead. They could have done better. They could have done better with that. I wasn't that impressed. But it never gets old. I watched some show called Scam Queen. Yep, that's exactly what we're talking about over there on Hulu. It wasn't very informative for me. Like, we talked about Whitehead for like 2 years. We talked about it for like 2 years. So we know it was so many different people. They just really mentioned Anderson, and we know we had the church, we had the building over there in Connecticut, we had Belmonte, the situation with Belmonte. We had him suing Tasha K. We had him suing what is her, Mrs. Jones, the DJ. We had him suing a couple of, we had so many different cases with him. It was crazy. And we caught he had a campaign worker because he ran for Brooklyn Borough president. So we had that case. So when I watched that that Hulu special was skimming. All they did was talk about when he snatched that lady up in the church when she came in there and thought she was going to run his church. So she got up there and she was like, "You a liar. The Spirit of the Lord is telling me you go ahead with your lying sermon." And then she got up and she walked to the front and she was like, "Come on." He said, "Come on. You want to take over the church? Come on up." So she got up out of her seat and she walked up to the front. And then she started walking, talking and stuff like she was going towards his wife. And he grabbed her by the neck and was like, "Get out of my church right now." And yeah, that's the only thing. She was on there. And I think Anderson's son was on there. That was it. But it was so many different pieces to that case that it was just like they were missing so much about him. Always the lady said, "I don't have a skin in the game, but for the sake of the babies, I hope he's not guilty." So Do you think they dismissed Jay-Z case because feds are going to add Jay-Z to their final indictment when it comes? I think so. Well, the reason why I think that that's not true, and it actually makes no sense, is because Jay-Z was a part of a civil case, right? He was a part of a civil case. He was never a part of the indictment. Those are two different things, criminal versus civil. Now, we know that the feds can indict you at any time, as they're doing Diddy right now, where he has about 50 civil cases going on. None of them have been dropped for real, except for right now the Jay-Z case. And there may have been a couple of other ones or whatnot that we just didn't know about. But he still has his indictment going on. And they keep making, well, they superseded it, but they just kind of added facts or whatever. I don't think they really did much to it. We went over that as well. So no, I don't think that had anything to do with it. I personally think that the attorney unfortunately did not vet him good enough, and vet the client. And after a while, he just couldn't help but to say, all right, I can't prove this in front of a jury. It's too many inconsistencies. And he may still believe his client. He may still believe, but it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And maybe he knew. If you couldn't even get her dad to say, oh, yeah, I remember that happening, then yeah, that was going to be a problem. Now, if you guys don't know, Eric Adams, tomorrow there is a hearing tomorrow, because even though there was a motion entered by the AUSA to try to dismiss his indictment without prejudice, the judge, you have to ask leave for the court. You can't just do it on your own, can't just consent and stipulate. That has to be something that the judge approves of. So the judge has a hearing tomorrow where there's going to be arguments on whether the dismissal is proper. So we'll see. Will the judge stand their ground and say, absolutely not? And then we know the government will appeal to the Supreme Court, and we know who all on the Supreme Court right now. Or will the judge just say, the court just say, you know what, whatever, I'm going to dismiss this. So we'll know tomorrow if Eric Adams is free for now from the indictment, which again is without prejudice. So that means they can bring it back whenever they want to. And many people are looking at it like a quid pro quo, because that's what it looks like. He kind of approached the government like, listen, I can't help you with your immigration policies because I'm in court worrying about going to prison. And so they feel like that this was targeted. They're making it like this was politically targeted. And that the publicity, that it was a leak with the publicity, and he cannot properly do what he needs to do as a mayor because of this indictment. And so those are the arguments that the judge is going to hear tomorrow and see if that's good enough to have this case dismissed. So we shall see. It's over 1,000 of you guys. Welcome. Make sure you hit that like button. Y'all coming over here to see a case I ain't even follow for real. But I thank you guys so much for the love. President Musk folks are sitting at the Supreme Court. He definitely has that Supreme Court on lock, even though the judicial branch is supposed to be not politically motivated. That's what they say. But you said we ain't following either. That's from Patrice Jones. Ooh, the woman he chose said we may have a judge resigning tomorrow. I don't think the judge would be crazy to resign, because the federal position is a life tenure. So yeah, no, I wouldn't be giving up my cushy. That's why you got judges in federal court. They'll be 92 and they'll still be sitting on the bench, but they won't. What they do is they just take away their caseload, where they don't have a big active caseload. So they may have 2-3 cases or something. So they're like semi-retired or whatever. But no, that is a lifetime. That is like the job. Okay. If you're going to be a judge, being a federal judge is where it's at. Good benefits. You don't have to try to campaign. I mean, you're appointed by the president. So. Oh, my sister is ready to block folks. So I want y'all to Don't be doing me like Tory Lanez case, because you know I was getting into it with them umbrella people or whatever they are. I was like, listen, I'm old. I got a kid that's 30, all right, and therefore, I don't know who that man is. I didn't know who any of these people was. This is what made my commentary not as favorable to a lot of people, because I literally did it from an unbiased place, because I didn't know any of these people. I knew one or two songs from Meg Thee Stallion, so I seen her, but I literally had to call my son and say, yo, who is Tory Lanez? Oh, he's a rapper? And when did he come out? Because I'm a girl that still listens to Tupac and them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really like get into a lot of the modern day music. So hopefully everyone is kumbaya on this here internet. Good evening, 8 Letterman. Thank you so much for joining us. And I don't know, why are people just now reporting that Jay-Z sued Busby? He been sued Busby. Like, we went over that too. He sued Busby for defamation and all of that. He did it first as a John Doe when he thought Busby was going to sue him. And so he tried to do it first in California as a John Doe. Then once Busby sued him, we knew who the John Doe was. And then he started putting his name out there that he was the one that was suing, because there wasn't no need to try to keep it private now, because the Busby had put his name on the complaint with the 13-year-old. And so what happened is Busby responded, I believe, with an anti-slap. That was his response to try to get it dismissed. Jay-Z responded to the anti-slap this past week or two. And in it, he had an affidavit. And in the affidavit, he was talking about how it affected his life, how it affected his family, all of that. And so now people are like, Jay-Z sued Busby. I'm like, he been sued Busby. What am I missing here? You know, you got to be an intellect so you can keep up with what's going on in this legal world, okay? We talk about things from the neighborhood to Hollywood, all right? Make sure you hit the like button on your way in. If you're new here, I want you to subscribe to the channel. If you like any of the commentary, I'm sure one of these videos you're going to like, okay? So just go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. You know, help the channel grow. Demure and Mindful said, paying for federal judge. You know what? That would probably be the only judgeship I would consider. Because right now I actually like practicing. I like being on the ground. I like helping people. And I like, you know, being a part of making law, you know. So, but federal, I don't think anybody could turn that down. Thank you, Purple. I appreciate that. He said, right, because that's all I'm saying, Miss HLS. I'm like, am I missing something? Is this a new lawsuit that he filed? Because, yeah. They were more concerned with believing Jay-Z was guilty to focus on anything else. Yep. And that's another thing. I hope that you guys are getting open, because what you're going to learn, what I've learned, is that people, if they don't like someone, then they want to believe everything bad about them. If they like someone, they just block out everything bad about the person they like. So to get people to actually have an unbiased perspective, you know, I had people talking about me. They weren't talking about me when I was up in the courthouse to my face, but I had people talking about me, everybody coming at me, telling me what people were saying, because I was just saying what really happened in the courtroom for Tory Lanez. I wasn't making it up. I wasn't putting sugar where it didn't belong. I wasn't doing any of that. And I had no need to. My job was to report. And at the end of the day, I said he was going to be found guilty. People were mad at me. I said, listen, between Kelsey's testimony that her actual statement that she gave the police, and Meg Thee Stallion, I said, Meg came across very credible. And then you had my man's that was supposed to be the defense witness who got on there and basically said, I seen the little guy and he was shooting a good pow-powing up in the air. I was like, he going to prison. I knew right then. I'm like, how did the defense call a witness to basically put the gun in this man's hand. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So, but allegedly, the investigator for Tory Lanez, he was more favorable, I guess, before. Or maybe the investigator didn't ask the right questions. I don't know where that slip up came with Tory Lanez, but I knew after that, I was like, yeah, they reached their, they were able to reach their burden. That was it. Overthought said, I know some younger dudes who swear Tory was going to take over the world. Well, apparently he was doing his thing during the pandemic. So, you said Meg is whack. I don't know. Is she? I don't know if she's whack or not. I just know she was credible on the bench. And that's how it was. It was like people that didn't like her, they was like, whatever. People that didn't like Meg, that's how it was. Let me see what this chat is saying over here. Let's go be nosy over here. What will be the jury's verdict? There you go, Cuff Boy. Let me see if anybody, because I know Nika at Night was in the chat because she was there. So sometimes she would be giving some information on what's happening in the courtroom. If they adjourn court for the day, that's going to really suck. Somebody said ASAP really just came into court. They changed it to 5 o'clock. Is that what they said? I know they playing. Court verdict delayed as Rocky decide. You know what? They talking about, somebody in that chat said court is adjourned because Rocky got to decide what skirt he want to wear. I really thought he was about to say something. Oh God. I know that's 8 o'clock. That's what I'm saying. Let me see. Oh man, let me see. All this, I could have did a thumbnail and everything. Shoot. Got me over here looking all unprepared. Because I was. Let's see. Look, everybody on their channels looking like this. Everybody sitting there like, oh gosh. Okay, nobody got any updates or something? Let me see Megan Kuniff. Let's see what she got going on. Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, is in the hallway chatting. I don't see Rocky yet. So maybe they waiting on Rocky. Maybe they waiting on Rocky to come. Somebody talking about he left the country. Listen. Someone just commented, Court TV said verdict pushed back to 8:30. Oh God. Annie Nesto. Let me check all my Pacers and stuff. Nothing. Now you guys know on those that follow the Ernest Williams on Valentine's Day, he did get some more discovery. So that was his bouquet of flowers, were some emails. He got a little round, a round or circle candy container that was filled with hotel receipts, letters with Sonya. Yeah. So that was the last thing. Let me double check that that's the last thing that is on here. And that document was in my membership. But Let's see if there's anything on Ernesto. Nope, that was it. That's all we have. Let me see. Let me stop this real quick so y'all can see it. So this was the last thing on Nesto. He got his 4th certificate of discovery for Valentine's Day. He got emails, a whole lot of them. He got the Truth Finder report. Remember, those are like background checks that you can do. But that's, probably the background checks that other people have done and talked about it on the phone calls. For those of you that watch phone calls from prison, he got some pictures, some incident reports. Erica King gave a sworn complaint about worthless checks, I guess. Remember that Sonia got a limited power of attorney. So he got a copy of that document, because remember, a lot of this stuff Sonia got subpoenaed, and so this is what this is. Some screenshots and some bank records and the letters with Sonia. So that's what he got for Valentine's Day. Okay. So that is the only update on this case. There is nothing else happening right now. Any other questions? Because it looks like we're going to be here for a minute. I wasn't prepared to have to, entertain like this. But, I can do all things. Hood Mayor said to whose advantage is it the longer the verdict? The verdict is already in. It was already in a couple of hours ago. While they're waiting to give the verdict, I've never experienced that, so I don't have an answer for you. But it took them 3 hours and 53 minutes to come up with a verdict. So yeah, that's what we're waiting on. And they posted that a verdict will be read at 7:00 Eastern Standard, 4:00 Pacific. And as you see, we're 30 minutes later. So we're just here waiting patiently, trying so we don't miss anything. You said, y'all need to stop saying the man is out of here. I don't think he out of here. He wouldn't leave his partner and kids. We still waiting to see if the judge is going to suppress potential evidence found during the car search. They trying to say the search was illegal. Yep. We also are waiting one in the Nesto case for the response to the state's motion to dismiss. Because if they dismiss it, we don't even care what the judge's opinion is as far as whether it was illegal or not. Because obviously, the way the state has filed a motion to dismiss, he didn't have an expectation of privacy because he got this vehicle under fraud because he allegedly, this is their theory, not mine, but he did marry Shirley Strawberry while he was already married. And we know that a married person can't marry somebody. That's against the law. It's called bigamy. And so Shirley Strawberry allegedly said he went and got this truck in her name and she didn't even know nothing about it being in her name. So all of this is you obtain this property that is not in your name under fraudulent intents. And because of that, you don't have an expectation of privacy. So even if the police did illegally search this car, you're still hit. Because we can't violate your rights when you're up here stealing things. You know what I'm saying? Or doing things in a fraudulent manner. So that's what's before the court. Very interesting arguments. Of course, we've been following the Ernest Williams, Shirley Strawberry saga for a while now as well. And he's not scheduled for trial till June, but we know there's going to be some hearing somewhere in between there because the motion to dismiss that was filed. And as you said, the judge never ruled on the suppression. Yes, I will cover the trial for Naziah. That's in my backyard. This man has a few cases. Why he was on the street still, I don't know. Nobody has been able to give me any plausible reasonings why nobody ever said, hey, this man is an ex-offender and he's around kids. Now, you had a family member say, oh, I knew all about him, so I didn't let my kids be around him. He was at a birthday party with kids. I just didn't understand why people weren't calling DPD. Like, hey, listen, this man is over here and he is around children and he's not supposed to be. He had I guess, a car garage where he fixed cars. That is where he met a lot of the women, because there's a lot of single women. I was there at one point in my life when your car break down, you get a referral from somebody because you don't know nothing about a car, and you take your car there. And that was his way. He would like woo women, and it seemed like his women weren't always the best looking, and he wasn't really a bad looking guy. They weren't the best looking women, and he would get all up in them, and they just geeked that he wanted to talk to them. And then his whole point was he was trying to get to their children. And apparently and allegedly, he had kids as well that I guess he messed with his own. So, yeah, that case is wild. Not just Naziah, it's a couple of other cases that he has that are open here in Detroit that are similar without the unaliving, because they haven't found the body of Naziah yet. So I hear they say some family members tried. I understand that. I watched it when the family members went on the panel, and they did call CPS a few times and all of that. So I did hear that. My issue is every damn time I seen him with a kid, I'd have been calling the police. That's it. He's an ex-offender, and he's not, that's a violation. He's on probation too, I think. He just got out of prison. They were doing like 10 years for the same thing. Some people can't be rehabbed. So yeah, that's my issue. I get it. You call CPS. CPS is overwhelmed. I understand. It seems like they get fixated on people that they probably shouldn't be fixated on, and the ones they should be fixated on, they're not. It's just the weirdest thing how the worst situations slip through the cracks. But then you have some people that are fighting and crying, and they all over trying to do whatever they can to get their kids back, and they're trying to let them go up for adoption or something. It's just, CPS is a different situation. But yeah, at minimum, if CPS wasn't doing it, at minimum, every time I saw that fool around the kid, I'd have been like, 911, what's your emergency? That's how that would have went. And I would have did it every single time. And you know what would have happened? Everybody would have got sued if one of these kids that got touched or anything, because I told you that he is still being around a bunch of kids. And then all these people seem like they knew his background. You got a whole partner. And these kids are coming to this garage where you're fixing cars at, and y'all not like, dude, you're not even supposed to be around kids. Or did he say he didn't do it? He ain't do nothing they said. He just did 10 years for no reason. You said DOC is repainting this cell right now. Exactly. Yes, please get the likes up. All right, we're just chit-chatting, waiting on the verdict. G. Powell, thank you so much for joining us. She said, hey there, Mrs. Pam, what's going on with the lady who left her 3 kids in the home for 4 years? So I saw that. See, Detroit is doing too much right now. Like, I have never seen this many stories like back to back to back. I haven't really personally viewed it. It just kind of came on. Oh, wait a minute. Do we got action yet? No. Okay. So Megan Cuniff says she's in the courtroom and people are still filing in. Okay. So that means we might get some action soon. All right. Might get us some action really soon. Thank you guys so much for your patience. It's 1,200 of you guys in here. If you guys could be so kind as to hit the like button, that would be great. Hey, Sin. Good to see you. People don't talk enough. Gotta protect these kids. That's from TACO. You said they tearing her up on Twitter. I gotta look. Then it was a woman that they thought the body was going to be Naziah. She actually was renting a home. She unalived her child. She buried him in the backyard. And then the landlord seen like a foot or something in the backyard, called the police, like it's a whole human back here. So went and looked, found out that the mom who was living there, she got her other son and they fled on to Georgia. So they were in Cobb County. And I think they got her now, though. I think she's been extradited. But yeah, they were over there in Georgia and they left. She had unalived her child. So yeah, Michigan been wilding lately. There's a lot of stories here. Hey, Triana's Touches. Good to see you, sis. Yeah. I second that. We have some of the best mods over here on YouTube. Very, very faithful for very little pay. I appreciate that. Roberta said, I'm still waiting. ASAP Rocky on the 9th floor in the courthouse. I believe the verdict is not guilty. All right, Roberta. So you there, Roberta? You're in the courthouse, Roberta. Are you going to Oh, you can't bring your phone in there or anything or like stream it, right? Probably can't stream it in there. That mother, Patrice said that mother had 4 CPS cases. Yeah, and the little boy, like, look, I might be mixing these cases up before I even say this. Yeah, I think I'm mixing the case up with another one. There's been so many cases, y'all, over here. I don't know what is wrong with people. James Prasuti III said, free him ASAP. No pun intended. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. That was cute. I don't know any Buttercup, the baddie. I don't know anything about Blake Lively versus Justin Baldini. I've seen a little commentary, but I have no clue what's going on in that case at all. I think it may be too far gone for me to learn it and start trying to commentate on it. But you let me know what you think. If you think it's something I could catch up on. But I think it's too far gone. You know, with me, when I start cases, I like to finish them. That's why most of the cases that I've done, I have done for 2 years. Because I start from the beginning to the end. This ASAP Rocky, I couldn't sit here and watch this trial every day. But we did listen to the closing arguments. Well, part of them the first day, because I didn't do the second day. The defense closing was what, like 5 hours or something? And then they had the rebuttal. Now, those attorneys on this case, it's a lot of times that you want to say stuff to opposing counsel. You really kind of want to like throw a pin or something and, you know, hope it accidentally hits them in the forehead. But you remain professional the whole time. These were the most unprofessional spats. Like, it felt like the judge was really daddy and it's 2 siblings arguing. That's why I was like, what is their history? Because this is more personal. They're trying to find every reason for a motion, every reason to complain, every reason to feel like they're being mistreated. When he did this, he did that, then Lewin. One of the rudest things you can do is start objecting up and through somebody's closing arguments. I had openings one time where I had the lady that, like, it was against an insurance company, and she objected in the middle of my opening. And I think the look in my face made her be like, all right, I ain't about to be objecting through her stuff. Now, we had a sidebar, and the judge was like, I don't really take too kindly of people objecting during openings. So she kind of refrained after that. So we didn't really have those issues. But that was the only time I think I had anybody try to object. That's kind of rude. Like, unless you say something that's just totally outlandish, because really, we're just going to hold you to what you say. If you say that you're going to be able to prove this in the case, then I'm going to remind you and remind the jury during closing what you said you can prove. So if you ain't proved it, okay. If you just can come for me personally, that's it. I would say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you already see what it is. They have no arguments, and that's why they're coming for personal attacks. That's what people do that don't know how to really, like, legally argue. But I'm going to tell you what the law says. The law says boom, 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 and they have not proved that beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't care how much kicking they do. I don't care how much screaming. I don't care how much objecting they do. The facts are the facts, and the law is the law. And if you stick to the facts and the law, I guarantee that you are going to come back with a not guilty. I don't got to go back and forth with you like that. I know my case. I can do most of my cases in my sleep, even the ones that I have now. If they call tomorrow, like, you're going to trial, in my sleep. Therefore, I don't have to argue with you and make me look bad in front, because they kind of impute that on your client. That's why if a jury doesn't like you, like, some people just have aggressive, abrupt type personalities, right? So if you have some type of a personality and you've done like focus groups or something where they've kind of told you about that, then, and you try to work on it and you just have that type of personality, you'll see lawyers that will say, especially from the civil aspect, listen, if you don't like me, Pam, as a person, because I just fight zealously for my client and sometimes I get overzealous, please do not hold that against my client. But both of them were acting just like fools to me. So, I don't know. Let's see what I missed. Yes, they were screaming at each other, Sunflower. Somebody said it was going to be 30 minutes, and that's kind of what it's looking like. Yep, it's 7:50 here, East Coast time. The 3-year-old was with the mom in Cobb County. DCFS in Cobb County had received several tips about her abusing the baby. My gosh, but we had a situation here too at one point in Detroit where the woman had unalived 2 of her kids and they were in the freezer. Like, she had them in the freezer for a couple of years. It was crazy. And then I want to say somebody came in for something. No, finally they were like school aged. So finally, I think it was a teacher or something started asking about them, like, why haven't they been in school? It was some inquiries about school and sending people out there and all that. The family hadn't seen them in I don't know how long. And the family was just like, oh, she was saying they were with the other parent or with somebody else or whatever, but they were like in the freezer, unalive for a couple years. And then she basically admitted once she got arrested, she admitted it. Her story is on one of these true crime story channels, because she was in court like, I did it and I'll do it again type thing. And she was alleging that one of the kids was molesting, I guess, one of the other kids, and she found out and whatnot, but she had been abusing physically all of them anyway. So I know that was supposed to be the issue, is that they were allegedly molesting the other siblings. So that was her rationale. And so she's definitely going to die in prison, but she was very aggressive and she was just like, I'll do it again. But it just shows you, like, why would it take that long for people to realize that some kids are gone and you haven't seen them in literally years? That's crazy to me. But We do not live in a society now where everyone keeps to themselves. No one knows their neighbor. You know, you move in a neighborhood. It used to be, I remember when I first moved to a Rosedale Park, which is a spot in Detroit when I was younger, it was like we were moving in and the lady came and she was like speed walking. She was like, "Welcome, neighbor," like the movies. They were coming over with little pies and stuff. I was like, okay, all right. Like, that's kind of like how it was. Now it's like they move in and you're like trying not to make eye contact so you don't have to say anything to them and they don't say nothing to you. It's a whole different, like, you literally, when I was younger, my neighbor across the street told every little thing I did. It was like, "Pamela, who is that at your house? Pamela, are you supposed to be at home? Do you have a half day? Pamela." I used to be like, oh my gosh, like, lady. She was like the lady in the window, a 227. I was like, she's telling everything. But now when I look back, I can appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now people just don't. It's no way back in my time that any of these kids would have been not seen for 3 days, let alone a week, before somebody would have said something and inquired. Like, even like my kids that are older now, that are adults, my neighbor, she taught them, she would come over and bake cookies. She was like 80 when we moved here. She's long passed away now. But she taught them how to like knit and all type of stuff. She would come over and get them to knit with them and sew blankets and bake cookies and everything. Okay, I think we got some action. Hold on. No action. They did show the courtroom. They play too much. I have literally talked about nothing for 57 minutes. Thank you, Teresa, for the super sticker. I appreciate that.
All right, we're on the record with all jurors present, all parties of counsel are present. Juror 9, you are the foreperson? Yes. And it is true that the jury has reached verdicts? Yes, Your Honor. On both counts? Yes, Your Honor. All right, do you have the verdict forms with you? Yes, Your Honor. All right, could you give those to Deputy Bennett?
This is the worst one.
All right, what we're going to do, folks, is Deputy Bennett is going to give the verdict forms to juror number 1. Juror number 1, I want you to look at the verdict forms, and I'm going to want to know whether these verdict forms reflect your true and correct verdicts. Juror 2, I'd like you to look over her shoulder so you can review the verdict forms. And we want to know from you whether these are your true and correct verdicts. Once I've heard from both of you, give the verdict forms to juror number 3. Juror 3, look at the verdict forms. Juror 4, look over her shoulder. So ultimately, I'm going to want to hear from all 12 of you whether these verdict forms reflect your individual true and correct verdicts. Everybody understand? All right. You got it? Put these two in there. Juror number 1, are those your true and correct verdicts? Juror number 2?
Yes.
Juror 3 and 4? Juror 5 and 6. Juror 5, are those your two correct verdicts? Yes. Juror 6? All right, let's get the verdict forms to Juror 7. Juror 8, look over your shoulder. Juror number 7, those are your two correct verdicts? Juror 7?
Yes.
Juror 8?
Yes.
9 and 10?
Come on with it, too.
Yes. Juror 10?
Yes.
11 and 12.
I'm nervous.
Juror 11?
Yes.
Juror 12?
Yes.
All right, all jurors have stated that the verdict forms reflect their individual true and correct verdicts. Alex, read this.
Yes, Your Honor.
The Los Angeles Superior Court, County of Los Angeles. People of the State of California versus Joaquin Mayers, case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of
You got another count, buddy. You got one more count. You got a second count.
Now get the audience.
Got a second count. Hold on.
Overtime, you'll get out
Hold it down, hold it down. Verdict has to be read on count.
Repeat again, we, the jury, the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of the semi-automatic firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 245, Section B, a felony, charging count 1 of the information, this 18th day of February 2025, jury seat number 9, 4%.
All right,
Title for the cause.
All right,
We, the jury,
Rocky.
and the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of the crime of assault with a firearm.
Maybe he knew better than us. He didn't take the blame.
B, a felony of charging count 2 of the information this 18th day of February 2025, juror seat number 9, 4%.
You dodged it.
during this trial, I watched you periodically. You did what we asked of you at the very beginning, which is to
Wow,
give both
that
sides a
was
fair
good.
trial, pay attention, use your common sense, apply the law, base your verdict on the evidence. I know you took extensive notes, and you took this as seriously as any jury could. We cannot have jury trials without folks like this. So
Wow.
you certainly have my gratitude. I want to extend to you my best wishes. Again, thank you. The admonition to not discuss the case no longer applies. You can talk about the case with anybody you want to, or nobody if you don't want to. Alex has your certificates of completion. You can take your juror badges with you. Thank you again. You are excused.
Everybody remain seated in the public. We're gonna let the jurors walk up first.
Wow. What y'all think? Y'all happy for ASAP and Riri?
Thank y'all for saving my life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You said he died for Peter.
Thank you, y'all.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I think if they held the prosecutor to their burden, their witness was a bit shaky. So maybe that's why they came to that. They didn't believe nothing that really had to say. Now you ain't get no money, you lost a friend, and now your whole career is at the same time. There ain't nobody messing
All right,
with
the jury is left. The bond is exonerated. Mr. Mayers, you're excused.
Thank you so much for the super chat.
Back row.
No, but I think
Everybody in the back row, get your
That was a good win because everybody thought he was crazy to take that doggone not to take the plea, because I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I would have rolled the dice on this one. But you know, his attorney said that's why he took 5 hours. He ain't leave no stone unturned, which he didn't. He was very repetitive. He didn't leave one stone unturned, and he said he believed his client. His client had this same, I guess, defense the entire time, said that he didn't do it. The man was trying to get money from him. Now the man ain't getting no money. I'm sure nobody really wants to deal with you in this music industry anymore. So it's time to, you know, maybe Amazon is hiring or something. Thank you so much, Shelby, for the super chat. Said, thanks, Pam, for covering the verdict. Of course. Not guilty on all counts. Woo, that had my heart like pounding, like it was me, because that's usually how I really am, standing there with any verdict, like waiting around is the worst, and standing there not knowing what's on that paper is the worst. Thank you, Diva 8. I appreciate that. So, you know, there'll probably be some, yes, congratulations to ASAP Rocky. Retire and stay on the runway. And yeah, ASAP, you need to, like, you got to move differently now, okay? You have a family, you have 2 kids. Don't get caught up in this game like this. But yeah, I know that prosecutor is on fire, right? Because he hates this defense attorney. That's the worst, to lose to somebody you can't stand. And I think they brought him from a whole nother district or something to try the case. So, oh, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Oh, look at all these coming in. Wanda the nurse said, thank you, Pam. Great coverage. Thank you, Wanda. You know, I had to blab my way through a lot of it, but I thank you guys so much for hanging and sticking in there with me. Right, Rocky, sit your ass down and be a house husband. No, he needs, apparently I did watch an interview that what's his name? Takapino, whatever his name is. He did on TMZ, and he basically said that he had a campaign with Gucci, and it's Gucci guilty. So he said, he was like, can you hold off on doing this campaign? Like until after this verdict? Like, can you change it to Gucci not guilty? But you know, there's already a Gucci guilty. So he must be, so they actually did show like the promos and stuff. So he does have a cologne campaign. Yeah. You said he left the New York and the Trump trial to come here. You know what? Apparently there must be something about him, because I wasn't really feeling him like that in those closings. But again, he may have, like a lot of people said, he was great on cross-examination. His presentation just didn't come across as smooth. But like I said, he did what needed to be done. So that's all that matters. Thank you for coming over here and watching it with me. Andrea said, not guilty. This is what your people do to you when you're getting ahead. Blessings, Rocky. Not guilty. Yeah, it does smell good. You said he may need to decline. Yeah, so he was waiting on that, I guess, to do the campaign. So yeah, I'm trying to see who about to be outside trying to, you know, they about to do a whole press conference of some sort. I mean, yeah, he leaped right over there he was nervous. He leaped right. He couldn't. I'm like, bro, you got 2 counts. Like, relax. He got that first not guilty. He said, I know that second one is coming. He was very confident. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live commentary over here on the verdict. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. And you said, can't wait to see the Met Gala. I hope Relly don't try to do anything else to Rocky. I don't think so. Let's see if anybody's doing. They should be doing like live coverage, right? If they're there, they should go outside. They should be having somebody outside already with the cameras, because they still got them live. Let's see. That is crazy. See, this is what the people thought was going to happen with Tory. With ASAP Rocky, y'all didn't watch it enough to know what was going to happen or try to predict what was going to happen. But it sounded like to me he had need to take that plea deal by the information I had at the time. But with Tory Lanez, I knew he was going to be found guilty. Can we do a tissue GoFundMe for Lemon? Oh, he mad. He hate everybody. If he married his wife, need to watch out, because honey, he about to have a whole he going straight to have a drink of some sort. He is going straight to have a drink. Thank you, Cupcake, for the super chat. Awesome coverage as usual, Pam. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Get to change his name from ASAP Rally. Boy, about to be broken, busted, trying to lie on the breadwinner. Yeah, now he gonna have to face the consequences of this. But again, like he said, he didn't even want to file charge. He didn't want to file charges at all. His attorney for the civil lawsuit said, "Oh yeah, if you want me to take your case, you need to file civil charge. You need to file a police complaint." So now you hit, because he done been found not guilty. And even though there is a lower bar, just like when you look at like wrongful deaths with O.J. Simpson, remember he was found not guilty. However, from the civil aspect, O.J. Simpson lost because the burden of proof is lower. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. So the family was able to get millions from a civil aspect. I don't foresee that for Relly because he was not really injured. Like them little scrapes on his knuckles, like, come on. Now, he didn't have to prove injury, just like what happened with Tory Lanez. They didn't have to prove injury at all. However, when it comes to the civil aspect, damages is one of your prongs. So what you going to come with your scraped knuckles like this, talking about you need $30 million? That was dumb. So now nobody is going to pay you any attention in this music industry. You have messed up. Like, literally go to trade school or something. I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know. I really don't know. Thank you, Cappuccino Latte, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Work in Progress said he just needs the black bag with the shields back to go to civil court. I don't know if that lawyer is even going to continue with this. The lawyer was there. The civil lawyer has been watching this case. And the civil lawyer actually did a press conference at some point as well. So I'm trying to see if they're going to come back on with something else. The civil lawyer actually did a press conference too. So the civil lawyer was trying to see the outcome of the case. So the civil lawyer may have told him, if you can't win, if he's found not guilty, then we can't take it. So he might lose all the way around. But again, even if the civil lawyer said, you know what, I'm going to still take up the case and whatever, because that doesn't necessarily preclude him. But because he wasn't really injured, what are your damages? He scraped his knuckles? Like, what is this damages? Y'all help me out. What damages do you see for Relly? It definitely didn't look like a bullet graze. Now, one thing I didn't believe is that he actually got pow-powed. That I didn't believe. Not based on what he's saying. And then you use a whole person as your human shield, but nothing happened to them. The math just wasn't mathing for me. But again, like I said, I gave little opinion because I didn't watch the whole trial. And there are probably different things I missed. I know Relly got torn up on cross-examination. He wasn't able to hold his own. And so from that perspective, like, I knew that he was going to have a problem. But the actual, like, yeah. Let me see. Okay, let's see who on there. Fox 26. Let's see. Fox 26. They outside waiting on people to come. So let's see. YouTube. There's still a lot of y'all in here. So let me. 26, California. Because they waiting on this. I'll be out here. Man, listen. Not guilty verdict.
This is where they want to be right now. Every news station is right now. Every news channel, right there. Every one of them.
Oh my gosh. Here you go. You said it's TMZ outside since the verdict has been read. No. Deborah said, I think that the bullet casing story sunk Relly's ship. With Renee, he was not guilty on every charge. He was found not guilty on each charge. Yeah, TMZ is everywhere. They at the airport, they in the bathroom, they at the valet, they are everywhere. Everybody's waiting patiently for them to come down. For Always Forever said that Silver lawyer is not taking the case. He's not winning for scraping his knuckles. They won't get anything because Relly won't be able to pay the lawyer. Plus, he a whole not true. He's a liar. You know what I'm saying? He's a liar. It was shown on the stand that he's a liar, and that transcript can also be used for the civil case. Listen. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no car. I know he crying. Like, he's going to say, I never really wanted to take the case there. I didn't want them to charge him anyway. It's probably what he's going to say. Because, yeah. Where people running to? Are they coming out another door? They got another door too. Oh, there goes. These are some of the same people that were at the Tory Lanez. Folks was fighting in the hallway and stuff. Yeah, they look like they're trying to move, which means that they have other doors that they come out of. Okay, wait a minute.
Yes.
We got still ain't came out yet. And yeah, they stay there because they want to try to get them as they come out the door. And then they have it like once you come out, at this time you can't come back in. So once you get out of there, it's a wrap. And then they don't allow you to have cameras in the court hallways either. So but we're gonna catch them. As soon as they catch them, we're gonna watch it. So I just don't want all these people talking in the background. Let's see what they have to say. That was a good W. Shout out to Takapina. He did his thing. He earned every dollar. He got another W under his belt. No better feeling. Riri got her man back. The kids got their daddy back. It's a good day. It's a good day over there in California.
Back up! It's not over discussed. Come on, take your line. If we don't get your line, then we gotta rush through you guys.
Yeah.
Back up. Give me this wall right here. Just imaginary wall. That's all. That's all it has. Just so we can safely get to the microphone.
On the side.
I like
Go into the mic. Open it
Go
up.
to the mic.
Good. They're going to the mic. Open it up.
So they're standing behind the board.
Hey, do me a favor.
They're gonna do a press conference. Relax. This is how they act. Wi-Fi. What in the world?
No, push it.
Oh, she's been talking to
Congratulations. Congrats. Back up. Where am I going? It's a war.
Bag up.
The mics are right here, guys. The mics are right here. The mics are right here. The mics are right here. Stay back. No.
I'm going home. I'm gonna call the police. I'm going home.
Hey, everybody back up.
This is crazy.
Back up.
They got a horrible.
Back up. Yo, give him respect. Back up, guys. Hey, down.
But I'm thankful. Nonetheless, I'm thankful and we're blessed to be here right now. To be a free man talking to y'all. Thank you. All praise to God.
What kept you passing out? You guys have a little baby.
Guys, look, guys. Guys, we can't do this. We'll just have to leave. But listen, guys, listen.
Yo, Rocky, you free. Party at Raleigh, Brody.
Relax.
Water on me.
Guys, bottom line is we're grateful for the jury. They saw through this barrage of a case. We said from day one he was innocent. He turned down a plea for almost no jail time because he was innocent. And I've always said this was an extortion. The extortion played out live in color in court. You know, we've always said what it says is that the district attorney should look long and hard at prosecuting Tyrell Efron. We've said that from day one. They should do it now. They have him admitting to perjury. They have him committing extortion. The jury saw through it and came to an enormously quick and speedy verdict, the right verdict, and we thank this jury. And again, for me, my partner Chad, we're honored to have represented this amazing family. Rocky is one of my closest friends, but he's also just a great person. Rihanna, they are seriously the greatest people, and I said I love them, and I really do love them, and I got emotional in my summation because I care about them. This is one of the happiest days of my life, and I'm happy for them because they've earned this and deserve it.
Get this guy on.
Thank you, brother. Okay, guys.
Get this guy all that.
Oh my God! Wait!
Wait! This is a camera stand.
Back up!
Congratulations, Mama! Congratulations! Mama, you're putting on the shirt. You're putting on the shirt.
Right. Oh, he got paid after. Now Rihanna looking at people, they talking about the music. She like, I think the prosecutor is going to say anything. prosecutor probably have nothing. Yeah, that was a whole. Look at all these people. It was never this many people, even for Tory Lanez. So I'm sure the Rihanna aspect of it helped with it. I saw that. So he walked. Is he gonna have to say anything else? Right, fine. You think they're gonna prosecute Relly for perjury? I think so. Look at all these.
They're getting Joe back because the fucking caps are gone now. I think they're getting Joe back now. Let's get our camera back up.
Get your camera back up. They're getting Joe now. Oh, Lord. That was a lot. That was a lot. So as you guys see, not guilty. Okay, let's see. I don't want to put nothing with TMZ on here because, you know, they like to strike channels and stuff. So, but all right. Thank you guys for rocking with your girl. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the live coverage. I enjoyed my time with you for the last hour and a half. ASAP Rocky is not guilty. Good day for him and his family, and also for the attorney. This is what we do. This is why we do it. It's a great feeling. I know the feeling that he has. Nothing like getting not guilty, especially when you believe in your client and you believe that they did not do what they were accused of. So it looks like the law may have done what it's supposed to do. The judicial system did what it was supposed to do. And for that, I'm sure that Rocky and them are grateful to God for that. You guys, thank you so much again for rocking with me. I'm out of here. Okay. Thank you again for all of the super chats and all of the conversation. And I had a good time, and I hope you guys had a good time as well. Until something else happens up in this legal street, I'm out of here. All right. I'm out of here. Make sure that you guys hit that like button on the way out and subscribe if you have not done so already. And I guess that's it. Bye.